Hello, my patriotic Panthers. How we doing today? This is our first annual debate. So happy to have you all here today. Thank you so much to our community partners and friends in the community who are joining us, especially Mr. Dan Siebel from the Government Affairs area of National Office. Round of applause for Mr. Dan joining us today as one of our judges. Yes. Also today judging is our awesome executive director, Ms. Chantel Miles. So thank you to both of them for judging today's events. Okay, so going to explain the debate a little bit first. You have all been divided into 3 separate teams, right? And so we're going claw against claw, and you will be expected to debate against the other claw on a case, a landmark case from the Supreme Court throughout American history. So some rules. Please be respectful to each other, right? So if one side is going, please don't speak over them. Please allow them to give their full 2 minutes, and then you'll have a chance to do your rebuttal. Each side will honor the 2 minutes of time that they'll be given. So the opening statements, the rebuttals, and the closing statements will all be an equal 2 minutes in length. I will keep myself unmuted along with your particular camera unmuted. And that way, when I see that it's 2 minutes, I will call time and you're to stop your argument at that point in time. Each side will sit quietly if not speaking. Please be attentive. You are all allowed to take notes as the other people are speaking. That way you can form a good rebuttal. And please stay on topic, right? So this is a debate. We want to make sure that we're staying on topic. I know that a lot of times we can get a little heated and that our feelings can get in the way sometimes, but try to stick to the facts and the figures and the research that you've all have been doing the past couple of weeks in Ms. Summers' class. The overall winning claw will get a pizza party, but there will be a winner from each round. So each round winner will go up against the final overall winner for the pizza party. Do we have any questions about the rules? Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have any questions. Okay. When it is your time to speak, go ahead and unmute yourself. Please make sure you introduce your first name and also the topic that you are covering and the side in which you are arguing, okay? So if I flip the coin and you are pro, you'll say, my name is, going to use Tiasha for instance, Tiasha, and I am pro for whatever the topic is. Make sense? All good? Okay, so we are going to go a little out of order today only because there are some Panthers still testing, unfortunately. So if they are not done with their testing in time for their round, what we have done is grabbed all of their arguments, all of their research, and we have some Pumas, some of the PACE staff who will do their arguments on their behalf. The Pumas will not add in anything other than the research and the arguments that the girls have already created, just to keep it fair, okay? So on that note, first up are the Pumas and the Cougars. So I have, speaking on behalf of the Cougars, we have opening statements by Alyssa J. Rebuttals and questions will be divided by Zamiria and Ania, and then closing statement by Desiree. Pumas, we have, if the coin says pro, then Miss Heidi H. for the pro. If it's con, then Miss Heidi K. The rebuttals will be taken over by Miss Kayla. And then closing statements, if we get the pro side, then Miss Siddiqui. And if we get the con side, then Miss Maddie. The first case we have up today is Roe v. Wade, which is a big one, right? This is a huge landmark decision in 1973. The Supreme Court stated that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restrictions. So if I flip the coin and you get pro, that means that you are arguing to say that a woman has the right to choose when it comes to family planning and her own body. If you get con, that means that you are arguing for the right that a woman should not have the right to choose when it comes to aborting fetuses, and that they are the pro-life stance. Does that make sense? Okay, so I need a representative from both sides to tell me heads or tails. Since I have Maddie in the middle, oh, we have Miss Heidi. Go ahead, heads or tails, Miss Heidi? Heads being pro, tails being con. Wait, I can't hear you. Pro. Pro, okay, so ready? Oh, it's heads. So that means that Pumas are pro and Cougars are con. Okay, those are the arguments today. We all good? First up, we will go with pro. So that means that the opening statement will be given by Ms. Heidi H. for the pro side. So I will go ahead and make you the spotlight video, and give me a moment to pull up the timer. And then you'll have 2 minutes to give your opening argument. And then the con side will give 2 minutes to do their opening argument. Okay.
Mr. Rob had a question.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Rob. Oh, pro is in pro-choice. Yes. So pro for Roe v. Wade would be a woman's right to choose, to family planning, and to her right of abortion in America. So pro is pro-choice, con is pro-life. Okay. Everyone else can mute themselves so that Ms. Heidi can do her opening statement. Okay, Ms. Heidi. Ooh. Nope. Go ahead.
Hello, I am Heidi Hugh, and I am here to advocate for pro-choice and for women and their entitlement to do what they wish with their own bodies. Being pro-choice does not mean being anti-life. It means empowering women to have the right, control, and privacy over their fertility. Each year, countless women are impregnated through rape, unexpected youngsters are turned into mothers, babies and mothers experience complications during pregnancy and birth, and a staggering number of children are introduced into the foster care system, or worse, due to lack of resources available to take care of them at home. Giving women options to make decisions based on what is right for them and their own bodies not only makes sense, but is a freedom that we should expect to have in this country. No one should be able to tell me what I can and cannot do with my own body and my own fetus. And today, our team is here to tell you why we should fight for choice.
Do you yield your time? Okay. Con, opening statement. Who will be speaking on behalf of the Cougars? Right on time, Miss Ayla. Hi. Okay. We have a surprise. Miss Ayla's in the building. So exciting. Okay, we got to get back on track though for time. I see Alyssa J. So 1 second, let me go find her in the list. Ooh, where is she? Is she in Mr. Rob's class?
Yeah, Mr. Rob.
Okay. Stand by. I'm trying to find her. There she is. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Alyssa, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, and time starts now.
Human development begins at fertilization when a sperm fuses with a single cell, explained in the textbook, The Developing Human Clinically Oriented Embryology. We believe that life is valuable. Once you take a life, it cannot be given back. If unborn children are valuable human beings, like born children, then killing them is no more justified than killing a child that is born. The value of the human life should not be determined on the mother's circumstances. There are 6.1 million women in the U.S. that have difficulty getting pregnant and staying pregnant. Many of these women are looking to adopt children. Abortion often leaves women feeling haunted and traumatized, and is something that they must live with for the rest of their lives. In a study done in the 90s, pro-life researchers found that 92% of women experience some level of emotional deadening up to 10 years after their procedure. When you ask an excited pregnant mom if the child in her belly is alive, what do you think she might say? She would most likely tell you yes. Why should that be any different for any other mom or women who want to get an abortion? Why do you think people talk to their child in the womb when becoming pregnant? Because we believe the child is alive. For the sake of the women who don't want a child, sources say that there are about 2 million couples waiting to adopt in the U.S. Adoption is always an option. For many women who may have been raped and became pregnant, abortion, however, compounds the violence of rape by taking the life of a vulnerable human being who has done nothing wrong. Both the mother and child deserve support and care in the midst of this very painful and unfair situation. Life happens at conception, and taking away that right of the child is wrong. The child has no say in whether they want to live or die. It should not be up to the mother to determine whether the child will have a successful life.
Time. Ooh, great timing. Look at that. Perfect. Great arguments. Great opening arguments. Now we'll hear from the pro rebuttal, and that I believe is Miss Kayla, although I see two Miss Kaylas on this list, so I'm not entirely sure which one you pick. Where's, oh, there she is. Okay. Miss Kayla, if you would like to give your rebuttal.
Absolutely. So you say that abortion is the termination of a life, but in reality, abortion is actually the termination of.
Wait, pause. Your audio cut out. Resume.
The word person, as described by the Constitution, does not include unborn people. So, and another argument that you brought up is that every life is valuable. But if every life is valuable, then why would we place a human life in a circumstance that does not value it? There are 500,000 children in the United States alone that are in the foster care system. They wait years to get adopted, if they ever get adopted at all. And if there are so many families waiting to adopt, then why are there so many children that are unadopted? Other children are born in families without emotional or financial resources, and they're forced into turbulent situations where their needs are not being met. And then in that case, how are we showing that that life has any value? Because we're not. And what do we say about cases where a woman was using contraception? No form of contraception is 100% effective, and abstinence is a personal choice or often a religious choice. And we live in a country where church and state are separated. So how can we enforce beliefs that are rooted in religion on all people? If a woman doesn't want to get an abortion and carry a baby full term, to give it up for adoption, that is her choice to make that decision. So furthermore, the right to bodily autonomy extends into women's rights issues. And if a woman is not given the right or the freedom to decide what to do with her own body, then we will be living in a society where women do not have equal rights to men. About 1 out of 5 pregnancies are a result of women getting pregnant by a partner when they did not want to.
Oh my God.
And in the case of an unwanted pregnancy where a woman is forced to carry to full term, she is the only person that is forced to suffer the consequences, while the other person that is equally, if not more responsible for the pregnancy has none. And if we're going to talk about the value of human life, then why aren't we valuing?
Thank you, Miss Kayla. Okay, now we could do a rebuttal for Khan. Who will be doing the rebuttals for Khan? Miss Samaria, all right. Ooh, both of you, okay. Are you ready? All right, 2 minutes on the clock and go. Ooh, maybe not, hold on. All right. Ready and time.
Bodily autonomy is very important, but it must respect the bodies and rights of others. Most people agree. For example, the pregnant woman should not ingest drugs that cause birth defect. And if harming unborn children is wrong, then dismembering or killing them through abortion is even worse.
The value of human life should not be determined on the mother's circumstances. If unborn children are valuable human beings like born children, then killing them is no more justified in these situations than killing born children.
92% of women experience emotional deadening up to 10 years after they have had an abortion. It is not just a scare tactic, it's a fact.
A human becomes a living organism at the earliest developmental stages. This is a fact established by the science of embryology. What about late-term abortions? 34% of all facilities that provide abortions in the US offer the procedure at 20 weeks gestation. How do you feel that is morally right? Do you feel like after 5 months it is not yet a child?
Abortion wouldn't be appropriate because the mother would become the aggressor due to abortion being an act of violence. Going through with an abortion may haunt the mother for the rest of her life.
And just as disease and disability don't justify killing born children, they aren't good reasons to kill unborn children either. Moreover, support and alternatives to abortion are available, including adoption for children with special needs and perinatal hospice in the event of a terminal diagnosis. Medicaid also provides financial help for pregnant women, such as Healthy Start and prenatal services. It's the doctor's job to try to save both the mom and the child. Come to what if the mom was raped?
Time.
Oh.
Thank you so much for your rebuttal. Now we move on to the closing statements. First up, we have the closing statements for pro. Who will be doing the pro closing statement for the Pumas? That would be Ms. Siddiqui, I believe.
Yes, absolutely.
1 second, Ms. Siddiqui, got to find you on this list. Where are you at? There you are. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Siddiqui, go ahead and take it away. You have 2 minutes.
All right. There are almost 3 million women in America that are raped and didn't ask to get pregnant. And so these pregnancies that are related to about 20% of the women reported that their partner had tried to get them pregnant, but they did not want to. So these are definitely, there's a case that there are many, many, many unwanted pregnancies. There are many children, almost 500,000 there's children in foster care, and 60% of these children spend 2 to 5 years before being adopted. And some can never get adopted. And just know that that's a big strain on the economy. And right now we are living in an economy that's already very, very strained. And the more that we're taxed for reasons that we could possibly avoid, then this needs to be considered. That's why pro-choice should be pro-choice. A fetus cannot survive on its own. It's dependent on the mother's body and the mother who is going to support this child, the unborn that becomes a child, the rest of her life for the next 18, 20 plus years and beyond. And let alone that children can come into the world with handicap and other ill effects and so forth, that can be a burden not on the mother's life for the rest of her life, but as in society as a whole. Many times a woman is pregnant by no means or of no concern of her own to be that way, and it should be her right to opt out. There should always be a way to opt out, and that is why pro-choice is so important. And as for the woman's circumstances, she could be without a job. She could be in all kinds of different circumstances. And
Thank you so much, Ms. Siddiqui, for your closing statement. Now, I'd like to hear our closing arguments from the con side. Who will be doing the closing statements? Ms. Desiree, all right.
For this?
Desiree, you have 2 minutes. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right, time starts.
In the end, women are having trouble giving the life, giving back, that cannot give back the life of their children, who are valuable to them, and it's killing them not to see their children that are born, and every time they are not born, they have the circumstances of abortion, and they feel like they have to adopt the children who don't, for the women who cannot get pregnant, and that's why people think that children who are in the womb of a pregnant woman can die from certain tragedies of the women that they do. And for the sake of the women who don't want a child, the sources they say are about 2 million couples, which we all know, is taking away the right of the child is wrong. We know that taking away a child is wrong because it feels like it's not the right thing, and they deserve a right to have a successful life with a child who deserves a chance to be in their mother's hands their life and look through their earliest stages of their development. And that's it.
Great. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Ms. Desiree. A wonderful job on both sides. Thank you for this lovely debate. As I mentioned before, I saw a few girls joining us a little bit late. This particular round was in regard to Roe versus Wade, which is the argument around abortion. So as Ms. Chantel and Mr. Dan add up their scores and send those to me, I just want to go over the rubric for all those who are watching and who are participating. You are being judged today on the use of facts and statistics, the topic knowledge, communication, and organization of your argument. So a perfect argument, a perfect debate would have every major point is well supported and with relevant information. Your team clearly understands the topic and displays the understanding of the topic with ease. Your team is presented with full confidence and in a convincing manner. There's no foul language and you're respectful. And the arguments were tied to the topic and were rational and organized. So a perfect debate would have a full 20 points. Okay, so we have a tie. You can't have a tie. Okay, we have a tie. Both the Pumas and the Cougars just were awarded 20 points. So again, there is either a winner of each round or a tie in this case. And at the end, we'll see who scores the absolute most at the end. So good job, Cougars and Pumas, for being our guinea pigs to go first today. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we are going to move on. Let me just get everyone back. Okay, next up we have, and hopefully we have some ladies who are done testing for this. Next up we have the Cubs versus the Cheetahs. So in the Cubs, we have opening statements by Heather H., rebuttals and questions by Danielle and Shatalia, closing statement by Danielle. Cheetahs, we have Ashley G. I believe Tayeja is still testing. Rebuttals and questions also by Ashley G. and Cheyenne if she's done with her tests. And then closing statement will be done by Cheyenne, or in this case, probably Ashley G., or with the assistance of one of the Pumas who will jump in as needed if your team is a little light. So I need a representative from both teams. What classrooms are they in right now? Where are the Cubs? Where are the Cubs? Shout it out for me. Miss Kalis? Okay. Thank you. All right. And then where are the Cheetahs?
They're in my class.
Okay. All right. So we have Miss Kayla and Miss Summers' class. Okay. Are you all ready to get started? All right, so I need someone from, I'll just say Miss Kayla's class. I see Shatalia right in front of me. Shatalia, heads or tails? Heads is pro, tails is con. Go ahead and tell me which one you want so I can flip a coin. You gotta unmute yourself.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads, okay. Heads is pro, tails is con. Woo! I got tails, con. Okay, that means that the Cubs will be speaking con and the Cheetahs will be speaking pro. I'm going to go ahead and review the case. For segment 2, Cubs versus Cheetahs, we are discussing the Supreme Court case of the District of Columbia versus Heller. This is a case in which the Supreme Court on June 26, 2008 held a 5-4 decision that the Second Amendment guarantees an individual the right to possess firearms independent of a service in a state militia and to use firearms for traditionally lawful purposes, including self-defense within the home. So essentially, gun control, and do you have the right to self-defense within your own home? Pro is the right to protect yourself with the use of the firearm within your home. Con is that it's unlawful to use a firearm within your own home for self-defense. So the Cubs have tossed the coin for tails, which means that they are saying that it is unlawful to use the firearms, and pro, which will be the Cheetahs, will be fighting for the right to bear arms, especially for self-defense. Everyone clear? Okay, pros go first, which means we have Ms. Summers' class. Who would like to go first for the opening statement? Go ahead and come up to the camera. You get 2 full minutes. You can yield your time at any point. Just say yield your time if you choose not to speak.
You're good.
You got this.
Ooh, you can do it.
Can you do it? Can you do it? I'm supposed to do it.
Olivia, I have full confidence you can do it.
You do this.
Oh, darling.
It's all right. It's
I
okay.
don't like this. No, I don't want to do this. No.
You got it.
Go ahead.
They all look at Don't talk, let you wiggle it up.
You go like that. It's on mute. We'll let him go like this.
I'm actually can't do this. Like I'm really feeling these. Like I'm not even laughing with y'all. I'm so serious. I'm really like I got anxiety attack.
Try turning the camera off, Miss Summer.
Yeah, it's okay if you turn the camera off.
Miss Dolly, can we have the other team go first?
I don't care.
Okay, so we will start with Khan. Okay, so Miss Kayla's class, we will start with you. Khan, so you are arguing that we should not have the use of our firearms, so you're arguing against it. So we have our opening statements with Miss Heather.
Close your eyes.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right, and time starts now.
In my opinion, I think having guns is another in anyone's position is very dangerous. I will explain. There is many school shootings by guns, suicides, robbery, home invasions, and kids just getting their hands on them and doing damage. In a CNN story, it states in 46 weeks in this year, there have been 45 school shootings. That's nearly an average of 1 school shooting a week. A lot of children have gotten hurt or even worse, killed in that year. Also, in an article of another town research states near two-thirds of all gun deaths in the US are suicides. And firearm suicides makes up half of all suicides. Just think of most deaths are by guns in most people's hands. May I add, only 500,000 Americans use firearms for self-defense, and the rest use them for illegal or don't even have one. You know, actually two in the US. The Department of Justice, 1.3 million home invasions occur each year, and 61% of them are with guns. And an article states that at least 265 children under the age of 18 pick up a firearm and accidentally shoot themselves or another person, which in 2015.
Time. Good argument. Okay, now we'll hear from the pro gun control. I see that we have Ashley G in class. So Ashley, if you do not mind giving the opening statement for pro. You can turn the camera off if you need to. Okay, ready? You gotta unmute. Go ahead and unmute, Summer.
Turn the camera off though. I don't want to see it.
Okay, I'll turn the camera off.
Hey y'all.
And the camera's off.
Okay, ready? Time starts now.
Yes. Woo! We believe that people have the right to own firearms, self-protection. In the Second Amendment of the USA and the USA Constitution. She's 12, bro. Miss, this lady, no.
Okay, I'm going to step in for the lepers. So the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states our right to bear arms, and that shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment is in place for a reason, and it is against our Second Amendment to take away these rights. These are many people that use guns in self-defense. A 2013 report shows that guns are used between 500,000 to 3 million times every year for self-defense. Also, 58% of Americans feel safer knowing that they have a gun in their household to protect themselves and their families. There are many vulnerable adults that want to protect themselves and their families, and we should not take that right away from them. According to a study done over the past 20 years, homicides with firearms has gone down and are down 39%. Banning firearms would not make crime go down. In fact, we believe that it would do the opposite. Many law-abiding citizens would no longer have these firearms, but that doesn't mean criminals would follow this law. Criminals could find a way to get access to these firearms, and then that leaves us law-abiding citizens weaponless. Thank you.
Perfect. And 30 seconds left. Thank you so much. All right, Khan, you can now do a rebuttal. Who is going to be doing the rebuttal for you in the Cubs class?
Ms. Shatalia.
Perfect. All right. You have 2 minutes on the clock. Are you ready? Okay, it starts now.
We believe that we should take the guns away. Yes, people kill people, guns don't. But having the ability to have guns gives people more of an opportunity to kill and harm others. Also, guns are rarely used for self-defense. In a study done out of the 29 million violent crimes committed, only 235 people use a gun for self-defense. The number of these people doesn't just justify the many people that have died by a gun, which is in 2017, 40,000 people died by a gun. Also, a mass shooting. There were 327 mass shootings in the U.S. in 2015. These shootings include firings, but no one was hurt. So that's why we should have guns, and plus these innocent people are getting hurt.
Okay. Do you yield the rest of your time?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Shatalia. Now we'll move to the cons. I'm sorry, the pro rebuttal. Go ahead, Ms. Summers class. You can unmute yourself. You don't have to put your camera on.
Okay, hello. So as pro-gun, we believe, we have the Second Amendment as our right. So about 500,000 people are using these guns for protection. So we want to be able to protect these women and children and single parents. We believe that they need some form of protection. We believe that it's not fair for the guns to be taken away from these people. It is, again, our Second Amendment. And we believe that if we were to take guns away, then we would see crime rates go up by a great percentage. And that would leave many of the law-abiding citizens to be without any form of protection. Because we would see a very strong uprise in the, with illegal guns, we would see that rise. And we would see people using these illegal guns, and then that leads with the law-abiding citizens that don't have any form of weapons to be protecting themselves with. So we believe there would be some rioting, some protesting that would happen due to the fact that our guns would be getting taken away from us. So yes, we do see suicides and homicides with guns, but we should be focusing more on the mental health of these people, not so much on the guns. Yes, guns do kill people, but I think we need to be focusing more on why people are killing people, not so much of the fact that guns are necessarily killing people. So if we could focus more on that instead of just banning guns altogether, I think that would solve more of the problem than just banning guns altogether.
Time.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Time. Perfect. Okay, now we move to closing arguments. We will start with the con in the Cubs class. So who will be doing the closing statement for the Cubs today?
Okay,
Can everyone please be
Our person that was doing the closing statement went home, so Shatalia is going to also do the closing statement.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for exhibiting courage by doing the closing statement last minute. I appreciate it. You have 2 minutes on the clock. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, it starts now.
For the side that is for guns, how many times do you use the guns for your firearms? And plus, in countries without guns, there are far less homicides, and we need to rethink laws that were made hundreds of years ago. And you say having a gun in your household is for self-defense is American right. What do you say about the statistic that states guns in the home are 22 more likely to be involved in accidental shootings, homicides, or suicides itself? So that's why I believe we should have guns no more.
Did you yield your time?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Natalia. Now, closing statements for the pro. Who would like to speak for pro? Closing statements. Cheetahs?
Guns.
Yeah, I think something.
Why we're for guns.
Why are we, let's do it, let's do it.
You have 2 minutes on the clock.
Oh, for real, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, what's good?
Cheetahs?
Why we're for guns.
Okay, we are for guns because they protect people, also help people who are finna get hurt, like rape and stuff, they can kill the other person or whatever. And they are very effective in the hood or in the ghetto for people.
No, not funny.
The ending part was not there, but the part.
Okay, so in the end, yes, we feel that guns are very necessary as they are our Second Amendment, and taking that right away from people would, we believe, cause an uprise in crime rates. And we also believe that homicides and suicides would not necessarily go down. We need to focus more on the mental health of others and not so much on banning guns altogether.
Do you yield your rest of your time? Okay. All right.
Wait.
Ooh. Okay. Thank you so much for another successful debate. In this round, we have a winner. So again, the Cubs were con, so they are against gun control, and Cheetahs were pro, they are for gun control. The Cubs have a score of 20 and the Cheetahs have a score of 12. So great job, everyone. The winner of this round is the Cubs. Round of applause, everyone, for a job well done. So the Cubs will be compared in the final round. Very exciting. All right, last and final round. Hopefully, is the testing complete? Maybe. No? Okay. What classes do we have the Jags and the Leopards? Jaguars and Leopards, what classes are they in? All right, Mr. Mike. Class
Leopards are ready.
For the Jags.
and Miss Heidi? Okay. Okay. So in this round, our last round of the day, we are arguing for Jaguars versus Leopards. It's Greg versus Georgia is the Supreme Court case. So Georgia held that Georgia's death penalty statute was constitutional. The court claimed the statute did not constitute a cruel and unusual punishment and therefore did not violate the 8th and 14th Amendments. So if I flip this coin and you get pro, that means that you are arguing that the death penalty is constitutional and does not constitute cruel and unusual punishment. If I flip the coin and you get con, that means that you are arguing that the death penalty is unconstitutional and does constitute cruel and unusual punishment. Any questions before we move forward? Okay, so in Mr. Mike's class, I see Markia there. Go ahead. Do you want heads or tails? Heads will be pro, tails will be con. Heads?
Sure.
Okay, ready? It's heads. Okay. That means that who's in the Mr. Mike's class right now? Are you Jags or Leopards?
Leopards.
Leopards. Okay, so that means that the Leopards will be heads and the Jags will be con. I'm sorry, Leopards would be pro and Jags will be con. Okay.
So we're pro.
I manifested that.
Ladies.
Okay,
Alright.
so first up, we will have our first speaker. Who will be doing the opening statement? Is that Markia? Yeah? Yes,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
You get 2 minutes on the clock. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
The death penalty is necessary to bring justice. The death penalty is important to keep law and order. It deterrs crime and costs less than life in prison. Records show that it costs $31,000 to keep a prisoner in life for life. That is money that we the people put forth in taxes to keep order, to keep murders alive. It is stated that capital punishment is used for good reason. The crucial goal of sentencing is the imposition of justice. We can see justice in many ways, such as dismissing charges, expunging past convictions, life in prison, or in this case, capital punishment. Each form of justice is different depending on the situation. If someone has brutally killed someone and has put a community in danger, then capital punishment should be justice. We are not saying that everyone who has murdered deserves the death penalty. The death penalty is reserved for the United States' most horrible and inhumane murders. For example, Ted Bundy raped, tortured, and killed many women and young girls during the 70s. Before his execution, he admitted to 30 homicides that he committed. The people that lives were taken had families. Those people who were murdered were someone's daughter, friend, and mom. Their families deserve justice. It is not enough that the person who did such crimes sit comfortably in prison, getting to keep their life, getting to speak to the families. Therefore, capital punishment is necessary in these cases.
The time.
You should.
Great job, Marquita. Okay, now we have the openings for the Leopards who are pro the death penalty. So do we have, who's our first speaker? Ms. Heidi?
Oh,
Oh, wait a second. Is everyone in Mr. Mike's class? Okay,
Yeah, we're ready.
okay.
Got you. Wait, it's already our turn to go?
You get 2 minutes on the clock whenever you're ready. Opening statement.
Go ahead. Okay, so we pro for the death penalty because if the death penalty wasn't around, these dangerous murderers would still be walking around to this day. And we can't just let someone who sat there and raped, killed, murdered dozens and dozens of people at once keep walking around and sit up nice and comfy in prison. While we the people put forth in our taxes take out $31,000 to take care of one prison inmate who stay in prison for life.
In 2020 in Florida, there was a 17-year-old boy named Angel Villafranca who was found shot 4 times in the chest in his car in Bradenton, Florida, 2020. Damian Tillman, 23, Kevin Springfield, 30, Brandon Rollins, 27, beaten, raped, and shot to death during a nighttime catfishing trip, Florida, Orlando, 2020. Christopher Bell, 20, shot at Clark Road Plaza Park during parking lot on a silver, whatever, in Orlando, Florida. These people, their families, they deserve justice. They should not sit around and have to deal with the fact that their sons, their children have been beaten, raped, and murdered brutally with no justice, that somebody just gets to sit around happy, living on a scheduled time, getting meals, getting food, whatever medical attention, all this stuff in prison. No, you shouldn't deserve to live your life after you get to turn around and take somebody's 17-year-old son, shoot them 4 times in the chest, and leave them on the side of the road dead. You be real. Like, be honest. That's wrong. It's not justice.
Exactly. The people, murderers go around here killing innocent people that be just trying to go home from work, and then they sit there and kill them. And you just sit there and think they have the right to sit back, chilled up in prison with somewhere to sleep, somewhere to eat, get 3-minute showers. They get a shower daily. They get a basketball court, all that. You think somebody deserves to have life in prison after they done did that? They rape innocent kids. That's kids
Time.
On the ball.
Thank you so much. Just a reminder, Jaguars, you are against the death penalty. Leopards, you are for the death penalty. All right, who is going to do the rebuttal against the death penalty for the Jaguars? Go ahead.
Hello, I will be doing the rebuttal for the Jags, and I'll keep it short. So from
Wait,
what I
gotta find you. Hold on 1 second.
Or is Bianca doing it?
Bianca, I believe, may be in testing currently.
she's going to do, are you doing closing?
She's gonna do the opening statement.
She's going to do the opening statement.
So okay, that I believe was the opening statement. Did we get things mixed up? Okay, so
What looks like happened was the Leopards went pro twice.
Okay.
One is spoken on con.
So you will get 4 minutes for your opening statement to keep it fair. So opening statement for the or hold on, are you the Leopards or the Jaguars? I'm sorry, Miss Heidi.
We're the Jags.
Okay, so the Jaguars are against the death penalty. So go ahead whenever you're ready. You'll get 4 minutes. Wait. You can unmute your camera and she can come and speak if you want to turn your camera around. That way we don't get feedback. There we go.
I'll just sit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get 4 minutes for your argument. You are against the death penalty. Whenever
Okay. We believe that each human life is valuable and has a purpose. It's inhumane to take someone's life. Since 1973, 172 former death row prisoners have been released from all charges due to being found innocent. We can't always be 100% sure if someone's committed a crime, and we are sentencing someone to death. Also, what about the people who have died in the past that were innocent? How can we justify that? Many people now could be sitting on death row. In fact, 4% of the people on death row are innocent. This is a small percent, but these human lives and that 4% deserves to live. The death penalty is also inhumane. There have been numerous people that have suffered from improper injections and have caused people to die painfully and slowly.
Good job. All right. And I'm going to also read with Bianca as well. So, Angel Nieves Diaz was executed by lethal injection, and due to the needle being inserted incorrectly, he suffered for 11 minutes, gasping for air and a painful chemical burn on his arm due to all the concentrated drugs under his skin. This is inhumane, and it should not be accepted. Being in prison for life allows them to consider what they have done and gives them a chance to change. It is also more cost-effective to keep a prisoner in for life than to use the death penalty. In fact, in Maryland, taxpayers paid $186 million between 1978 and 1999 to prosecute death penalty cases. Also, many of these people have severe mental health issues, and instead of addressing that, we're just killing them. On top of that, many of these people are not able to afford suitable lawyers or someone to help defend their case. Killing people on death row is something that can't be undone, and it assures the execution of some innocent people. Thank you.
Do you have any more content you would like to provide right now?
Do you want to share any more?
Okay, if you don't, giving you a chance. Okay, no problem. All right, so then we'll move to the rebuttals. Leopards in Mr. Mike's class, you are for the death penalty. Do you have any rebuttals for the Jaguars?
Like questions and stuff.
Like questions and
You cut the camera off. Dang, how many times am I gonna ask you this?
Please remain respectful. Thank you. All right, you get 2 minutes on the clock for rebuttals.
All right, go.
All right, so basically y'all talk about mental illnesses and like I personally understand that 46.4% of people out of the 100% population in America grow up with mental illnesses. So you telling me somebody who sits there and raised a little child, a minor who was having the best time of their day, like living their best life and all that, You tell me they deserve to be raped and sit up in their room with childhood trauma and scared to tell anybody what happened. You're telling me someone who does that to a little child deserves to live? No, they don't. That's a little child growing with a mental illness. So basically, and that's okay. So
your mental illness does not excuse what you do.
Exactly.
Like, you can easily pop in Abilify in the morning. Like, come on now, all you have to do, you can medicate yourself. You can work on your own mental
Exactly.
disability.
If you really want to help do work for that, there's
if you
people
can
out
bring
there.
yourself to shoot a 17-year-old 4 times in the chest and leave him dead on the road, if you can bring yourself to go up on 3 guys camping trip, beat them, rape them, and then shoot them to death, just because you have a mental illness, that should be excused? I think not.
Exactly, and there's plenty of people out there, people who will help people with mental illnesses. You can get help for that. That's your choice to get that help. So you're telling me if you try to help somebody with a mental illness and they don't listen, they still doing the bad thing, they still out here murdering people, you tell me they still deserve to live? If they want to help, they will go out there and get it. And then it's all, oh, I'm against it. Then we do make sure people are dang it, Miss Dolly.
I'm sorry. You get a chance in your closing arguments. Very good job. Okay, Miss Bianca and Miss Summer, I'm assuming that you will be doing the rebuttals. So you are, oh, I'm losing track now. Pro death penalty, is that correct? Leopards, I'm getting you both confused. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead whenever you're ready. 2 minutes on the clock.
Hi, so we are con, and this is our closing. So you mentioned $31,000. In today's culture, it's amazing that we have so little value for individual rights in life. How can we send this message that human life is worth $31,000 and it'd be cheaper to just go ahead and exterminate people? This isn't Nazi Germany. Also, if we consider life to be that disposable, and we're talking about mental illnesses, what socioeconomic responsibility for rehabilitation do we have for those mental illnesses that you mentioned? Why are we as a nation not doing more for those who may need us most, such as violent criminals who need rehabilitation?
Can I like to say something? Yeah, but here's the thing. A life shouldn't just be taken away because somebody did something wrong. A life is a life. Once that life is being taken away, there's no going back. You can't bring it back from the dead. You can't do anything to stop it from happening. And if you kill somebody, that's like 300 lives being taken from a family or somebody. What if that person was somebody's father, mother, sister, brother, or sibling that was like very important to them and had an important role? What if they were doing that for a reason? Maybe they were trying to do something and trying to provide for their family. That may have not been the best solution, but that's the first thing that would come into somebody's mind, is to do something quick and efficient, because right there and then they don't have good impulse control. Mental illness also comes in with that. Impulse control is a big thing with mental illnesses. They don't have that much of a good one. So they just see the fast, quick, easy solution for them to handle it and be gone with the situation. A life is irreplaceable. It's such as like a very, very rare material. Maybe it was on the brink of extinction and you can never find it again.
And so I'll also say something to that too. So what about this 4% as well that we're seeing that are innocent?
Hi. Sorry.
Okay.
So sorry. Okay. Now we'll do closing statements with Mr. Mike's class. Whenever you're ready, you can start speaking and I'll start timing. You get 2 minutes.
All right. So first of all, my rebuttal is on Miss Heidi. I kind of take it a little bit offensive that you can compare an evil, a murderer, somebody who can murder and rape people to the innocent Jews. I kind of find it, first of all, I'm German, so I kind of find that offensive. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. You cannot compare somebody who has committed a murder or rape against an innocent human being against the Jews. I don't see where the comparison is.
And another thing is about that, that 4%. We had Ted Bundy on trial for 10 years over a decade at the most to make sure he was not innocent of that crime. And after 10 years of wasting our time, he sat there and said in his own words, I committed 30 homicides. So you're telling me you want to take that chance and keep somebody on trial for a decade or more just to see if they're innocent or not, and they're not being innocent, they still out here killing more and more and more innocent people. You're telling me you want to take that chance and do that? That's putting so many communities in danger. And that's way too many communities in danger at that fact. Do you know how many murders are still walking around to this day because y'all want to make sure they're innocent, quote, quote? Yeah. There's so many murders walking around to this day that could probably come to the school and kill us. Like, you never intentionally know. Like, you never know.
And with the death penalty, we can 100% ensure that this murderer or this rapist is not about to come out and keep reoffending and continue reoffending.
Exactly. And another thing about it is, you know, another thing about it is, like, you basically saying that, oh, that 4%, yes, you're right. But what about that other 96% of people who did commit the crimes that are locked up? You're telling me you're not thankful that they're not out here killing people? You tell me you wish that 96% was still out here?
Time. Thank you so much for both your arguments. Great job. If I can get Ms. Chantel and Mr. Dan to send me their scores for this round. Very passionate arguments, much appreciated.
Sally, the Jags didn't get their closing.
You said that was your closing argument. I'm sorry.
That was our
rebuttal.
Okay, well then we'll do the closing argument. Okay, you get 2 minutes on the clock. Whenever you're ready.
All right, so think about this. Yeah, sure, the death penalty may work for most people, but does it stop people from still killing over and over and over again? Yes, it may decrease the number, but it doesn't completely stop the rate of people getting killed, people killing other people. And if somebody kills somebody and you want to go ahead and the government takes it into their own hands into killing that person that has killed somebody, you're just committing the same crime that somebody else did. Because if somebody killed somebody and you're killing that person that killed somebody, you're committing the same crime that person just made. And it doesn't make two wrongs don't make a right. Like, and how many colored people besides white people are on death row that are innocent because of hatred, jealousy, and because of no apparent reason? Now, like, I would like to generally know that from your side. And what also gets me is that people are judged on how they look and they're put on death row too quickly because, sure, they may look like a gangster or very dangerous and they're put on death row because they look like that. Now answer me this, do you judge a book by its cover or do you actually look inside of it and see what they did? And I would like to know why. Why do you guys think it's all right to kill somebody because they did an action that was unforgivable? Yeah, it may have been unforgivable, but killing that person, knowing that they could still have probably more than one chance. Here's the difference between deserving and having a second chance. Deserving is demanding and wanting to have a second chance. Having a second chance is proving yourself worthy that you didn't want, like, you don't want to do that again. You've learned your lesson. And the death penalty takes away human rights, number one. The right to be able to live. You're just taking away somebody's life. And you can reappeal that case as well. People who are on court, you can reappeal the case just to make sure that you're innocent.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Round of applause for everyone. Great job. For this round, we have Jags 20, Leopards 19. Very close. Very close. Good job, everyone. So again, Pumas 20 points, Cougars 20 points, Jags 20 points, Cubs 20 points, Cheetahs 12, Leopards 19. Awesome job to everyone on this amazing debate. That means that we have a tiebreaker, right? So who's ready to do a tiebreaker? What we'd like to do is one representative from the winning clause. So one representative for the Pumas, one representative for the Cougars, one for the Jags, and one for the Cubs. And I'm going to give you a surprise case, and you're going to have a minute for your best arguments. None of us prepared. No one's prepared for this. Just keeps you on the fly, right? So go ahead and raise your hand or let me know if you're going to be the representative from one of those groups. The case is the marriage equality case from the Supreme Court from 2005, Oberveld versus Hodges. So that was a landmark case that guaranteed the right to marry for anyone in America, not just a man or a woman, but it could be anyone who would like the right to marry. So we need a representative from each of those clauses. Please raise your hand. Okay. We got Shatalia. Okay. Hold on. Shatalia, we have add spotlight. Okay, we need a Puma representative. And did we get, I guess Alyssa's gonna be our Cougar representative. Awesome. I need a Puma representative. Who's feeling feisty today? Miss Maddie May, can I volunteer you? No? Okay, what about you, Miss Ashley? I just need a Puma really quick. Anyone? Give me a Puma. Someone raise your hand. Okay. Okay. All right. So you will each get 1 minute to argue either side that you want. This is going to come down to the argument itself, the quality of the argument, your passion, your communication. Go ahead and take a couple of minutes if you need it. Miss Ashley, are you okay to do the argument for Pumas? Are you shaking your head, but I don't know if you're shaking it at me. Miss Ashley, can you hear me? Okay. Anyone else from the Pumas who can do this?
I hear you right now, so she can't do it.
Okay. Miss Heidi Hugh, can you represent us for the Pumas? Sorry to put you on the spot, but everyone's on the spot for this one. This is going to be the tiebreaker for the overall winner. You're being judged in the same way as the other rounds, only please keep in mind that nobody's prepared for this one. So let's hear it. Who wants to go first? Ms. Shatalia? Okay. You have 1 minute. Whenever you get started, I'll start the clock.
I'm with it. Like, if they want to get married, it's them. If they want to get married, let them be. We can't sit that high to judge them. Only God can. So, yeah, let them be.
Dig it.
You can keep going if you
want. How does someone's marriage harm anyone? How does it harm anyone? It's a question for all y'all to think about. So yeah. Hi.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shatalia. Great starting argument. Just because she's next on my screen, I'm going to go with Bianca. Go ahead, Bianca. You can go ahead and mute yourself, and the time starts whenever you're ready. You can argue on your side.
Okay, so I support like marriage for everybody because nobody can stop love from happening. Because if you love somebody so much genuinely that it gets to the point that you want to be with them for the rest of your life, then there's no stopping that from happening. Till death till us part is what they would say during a marriage. And it doesn't matter because humans are humans. It doesn't matter. If you're in love, you're in love. Nobody can stop you from being in love. Like, what in your right mind would make you want to think that you taking away somebody's like will to love somebody and just saying, nope, you can't have that? That's just you saying like, oh, you look different from everybody else, so you can't have that because everybody else is also having that because you look different. If a man loves a man, let them be together. Because if it's not bothering you, then I don't see the point of you trying to stop it from happening.
Time. Thank you so much for your argument, Miss Bianca. Good job. Next up, we have the Cougars.
You done. That's great.
Who would like to represent the Cougars? Perfect, Miss Alyssa. Okay, go ahead and mute yourself whenever you're ready. The time will start when you start speaking. Sorry, Mr. Rob.
All right, we're unmuted.
You're good. Go ahead.
All right, so a law or any law is made to protect people. So to protect people from violence or doing anything to hurt others, or laws to help people. But marriage isn't hurting anyone, so there shouldn't be a law against it. Sure, it's not, it's helping people by helping them like make their own decisions, but a law is made to protect people and marriage isn't hurting anyone. So there are countless stories throughout history where when there are laws made against marriage, that can actually create violence and support people who are against it and who want to cause violence against others. Say like there are people who are against like same-sex marriage, they will act violently against people just making a personal choice because there's a law to protect them. There's a law saying, oh, that's illegal, so it's actually creating like a path for violence. So, all right.
Great argument.
That's my argument.
And last but not least, we have representing the Pumas, Miss Heidi Hugh. Go ahead.
So love is love is love is love. And there is no one that should be able to tell me who I can't love and who I can't marry. Correct that there are laws in place to protect our citizens in our country, and marriage should not be one of those things that are protected. I should be able to love and to marry and to be with whoever I want to be with and whoever I feel like I can be with. And that is a freedom that we should be able to have in this country. And so love is love, and it will always be love. That is my time.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. You made it through the first annual debate. All right, I have my results for Mr. Dan. What are my results from Miss Chantel? Because that'll be the tiebreaker because he has a tie for me as well. So, Miss Chantel.
I love everybody and everybody wins.
All right,
for everybody.
Okay, so I had a couple other messages. So I do have a final overall winner. Again, we're all winners today. You all put so much hard work into this experience. Thank you all so much. Thank you for our amazing judges, our celebrity judge, Mr. Dan the Man from National Office, and his assistant, Ms. Chantel. Thank you so much for being here. The overall winners for today's debate competition is, drum roll please, the Cougars. The Cougars are the whoa! Love the celebration. Like I said, you all did an amazing job. We all win today because you put the hard work in. The whole point of this activity was that you had to learn both sides of an argument, learn where people are coming from, meet people where they're at. And I think you all did a wonderful job of that. So thank you for doing hard work. For those who jumped in to help with arguments because some of our girls were testing, thank you so much. And yes, the Cougars win their pizza party. And the ILE girls for Cougars will figure out something fun for you as well. So everyone in the Cougars Claw will receive a prize for all their work. Special thanks to everyone who participated and did an awesome job today. So thank you so much.
And Miss Ayla.
Miss Ayla. Wait, I gotta.
I'm so proud of you guys. You did so good. This is so amazing and such a wonderful surprise to come visit and see how awesome you guys have been and how great you guys did with this activity. I am so excited to see you guys on Monday and get back to it. All right.
Okay, please stay in your class until we do dismissal. I know we're running a little bit behind, but the bell will ring to stay in class so we can get to the great room. Thank you so much. All right, have a great day.